Before I start my food haul, I'm going to mention a store. This is a store in Michigan area. I don't live there. I just shopped and got some yarn. They cost around 21 something. This is my little treat because I try not to say that around the dog. She doesn't seem to mind because I got her something. But anyways, I got this for my cousin. His birthday was today, and I had to food shop and all that jazz, and ended up having stomach pain. On my way home, I ended up getting sick and throwing up. That was bad, but good. I think food didn't agree with me. I don't like talking about that in food hauls. I'm just explaining I got sick. I don't know what did it. I think maybe the McDonald's fries did, but it says this on the inside. It's really nice. I'll sign that. I'll drop it off either where his mother works or my aunt works, pretty much, or maybe I'll drop it off at his work. I got these because I don't buy these very often. They smell really, really good. I got these in the dollar store because since I hit the Dollar Tree, they had brown rice, so that was good. And on my, and that was all Dollar General, or Dollar Tree, if I could speak English. Dollar Tree, correction right there. Now, the Dollar Tree items were like the candy bars too, like these ones, if I showed them right, and all that jazz. But anyways, I got the marshmallows and all that. And in case I glitch out, I just like to repeat a little bit. I didn't buy 2 grapes. I had to fight myself not to buy 2. And I basically bought 1. Trying to resist it a little because I keep eating raisins, but I try to keep my sugars up to when I walk and stuff like that. Anyways, the cream cheese, I only got 1 because I usually make like crock-pot recipes, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I got so many recipes in here, it's not even funny. Looks like I'm hoarding recipes, but I'm actually building up the crock-pot one because I barely had any. Now I got to build up the air fryer one. And these were on sale, the blueberries and the raspberries. I will just measure or just freeze them, whichever, because you can freeze fresh fruit. You don't have to blanch them like the vegetables. I got romaine hearts because this was on sale, and I also might use those for a recipe. I got 5 cobs of corn. There's 3 on the bottom. The 2 are laying on the top. Butternut squash. This I'm actually going to plan on making something. I'll mention the meal plan at the end. I got 7 Texas-based grapefruits. I bought 8 of them because I do have that I can eat very, very vigorously. I like grapefruit, but it's really expensive. I don't bother buying the bags. You just pick them up and measure them, blah, blah, blah. I think that cuts the price down a little bit. So Super Ones, Foods, Dales, and stuff. They actually have apples that I don't think I've ever tried. They're Honey Crisp. They've been out for a long time. I got 2 Pink Lady ones, too. I had to buy a chuck roast for a recipe. A crock-pot one, I believe. Anyways, and I got some. I didn't need this for a recipe. I kept this on hand because that smoke messes with my sinuses and stuff. The smoke from Canada is when it's really bad. Yesterday, my sugar went to 400 for no reason, and today I had a 400 and another 400 at lunch. It's just around that area, but it was like 498, I think, and then it went down to 492 when I injected myself with insulin because I always bring a needle in case I have to put it down. It looks like the Quickset was a problem, so I shot a new one in. If I get another high number, I believe it's that. Because the smoke affected me the day before. That's what I thought it was, leftover smoke doing it. That's why I thought that way. Anyways, I got 3 packs of these because I only have 2 chicken breasts in my freezer. I bought 3 of these. And yeah, I know these are a little pricier than the Walmart ones. They're too tough. Like I said, I want these ones. I want better tasting breasts. Because they taste funny, too. I got one that was $7.50. The last one's $6.31. I ended up spending a bit of money like I did last month. I'm not trying to overspend. I do stock up stuff so I have enough for my recipes. I got organic carrots were on sale for $1 something. I think I can't remember the price on that one. Anyways, I got big carrots. I ended up chopping my big carrots because I forgot to eat them, but I chopped them because little Miss Rosie was spunking for more food, and I had to give her more. I had to kick her out of my bed last night because I had to change the top sheets because she kind of tinkled on the sheets, and I kind of yelled at her, and she looked sad, like, "I'm sorry, Mom, can I come into bed?" I said, "Okay, just don't do that again, please. I'm sorry for yelling at you." She's actually 11 years old, and she's been having these problems. She's not hitting her wavy pads, and I'm not bringing her outside unless we go for a walk because they don't handle heat well, to cut the story short. I'm not trying to be mean to my dog. I'm just trying to help her the best I can. I got an onion because I always chop the onion and freeze it, and then whenever I need to use it, backup onion. Got some green onion. I got some gold potatoes. This was not on my list. I got this because I don't buy this very often. I haven't had pork wine cheese, and this is the only brand so far I trust. I make sure to find ones that aren't gluten-based, because I guess some cheese could have gluten in them. I don't know if that's true. I always buy block cheese now instead of Instead of buying the big one like I normally would from Walmart, I bought these ones because they were on sale, and I already shredded a couple I bought from the dollar store. I bought watermelon. Haven't had that in a long time. I also got eggs. And this is a big haul, so you're going to see some stuff in here. We got some one of these Bear Twist fruit roll things. I only got 3 of the fruit leather. I got Rosie's cantaloupe because she was mad I wouldn't bring her shopping. And I got some Kool-Aid. I don't normally drink Kool-Aid. I'm going to try it with the stevia. I'm going to try cutting the sugar base in half so I don't make it taste bitter. Because if you use too much sugar, it tastes horrible. Like when I took my favorite coffee drink to make a sugar coffee, I added a whole half cup. It's so bad. It tasted bitter. I cut it down to 2 tablespoons and it worked fine. I can use a quarter cup if I am basically making a double batch, which I did for work yesterday pretty much. I got 2 of these ones. This one's the one I bought the most because I missed this flavor. I decided, I know these aren't the healthiest because of all the chemical crap in it, but I'm trying to, I don't think it's all the chemically based food that make you fat. And I think the stress has been doing it because I actually lost weight the Sunday, not this past Sunday. I lost 1 pound. The Sunday before that, I lost 2 pounds. So I'm trying to keep my stress under control at work. It's hard to do it at work. Yeah. Some days are really bad. Anyways, I got maple syrup too. I get the different brand than the Walmart because it's here it's full of fructose. I got 2 diced chilies. I still had a can of them. I decided to get 2 more. I got this hickory smoke because you can mix it with a certain amount with mayo and make this campfire mayo. It's a pretty good recipe I hear. But anyways, I got some gravy. I got 7 gravies. Instead of buying them, they were a little cheaper than the Walmart ones because they're usually around $2, and these ones were 1 something. So I bought a couple of those for recipes. And I also got fire roasted tomatoes. I need my friend to help me shop, and he showed me where to find them. I already have 2 loaded cocos that are dark, and I always have a 3rd one because I make candy bars out of this kind of. Not like sugar-based candy bars where you're throwing all this unhealthy sugar. I don't think sugar's all evil. I think only the cane sugar, the brown sugar, and the bad sugars like Splenda. I think stevia sugar and I think coconut sugar are perfectly fine. It's not going to kill you or poison you and all blah, blah, blah. That stuff. Couldn't even get an extra bag of coconut sugar. I think Walmart quit selling it. Now these, because I had a bad stomach, like I was saying, I don't know if I said that yet, but I ended up throwing up, which is horrible after my food shopping trip, but about 4 times I had to signal my friend to pull over the car and pull the window down. I don't like talking about stuff when I'm talking about food. I do apologize for that, but I got this one. I got this one. It was a grapefruit one. I'm just buying that to test. I don't really like drinking too much soda anyways. That's the one I'm testing. This one's the one that's smashed. This one, it's not a refund where I bought it. It's Super One. The only app items I bought, that was an Ibotta one. And I'm not, like I said, I'm only buying certain ones because I'm not going to waste my money on Ibotta 24/7. I'll buy like 1 item or so. And I got 2 of these because the app only gives you $1 for 2 of them. This is also a fetch app from what I remember. I don't remember if any of the other ones were or not. Well, if it goes up, I'll figure that out, I guess. But anyways, because I decided to scan and make sure it would count before last time. I got an Ibotta item, and I didn't have a coupon, but they had like this coupon deal with one of the items. I don't know why they get so pissed when you use a coupon. That's like robbing us when you make us pay full price, because you're not getting much back from there. I will complain about that. The sour cream is cheaper than Walmart there. I tried to get ground chicken, and I couldn't even get ground chicken. This is where I'm going with this. And the guy said this is, and there's no gluten in it, stuff like that. It's just burgers. He said it's already ground meat. Just let it thaw, and you can mash it up and put it in. I'm gonna put it in my freezer bags and everything because I needed chicken, 2 pounds of chicken for our recipes. And I'll come back with my Walmart haul. Okay, my Walmart haul. I bought 1 milk because I still had some milk left over in the almond milk department. You got 1 butter. I always got to keep my butter stocked up. I got 4 butternut squash. I'm just gonna throw these bags in the freezer. I ended up getting 5 ground turkey because Rosie gets 4 of them and I get 1 from one of my recipes. I ended up buying the Walmart beef because they flippin' took every single, I don't know who they are, but people got every single one of the grass-fed beefs. So I couldn't even buy one. If I bought them at Super One, it would have cost us $7.99. There's a $6.39 one I usually get. But I got stuck with the Walmart beef, so I did the natural one. So hopefully it goes good. And I think I brought prosciutto before. I don't remember if I did, so probably have another haul, I guess. But anyways, I had to buy 2 of these because it's 6 ounce, and I need an 8 ounce for my recipe. Okay, this was not on my list, but I hear this fish is really good. I still got fish in my freezer. I do have like trout that I caught from a camp with we had a workers camp fun day and all that jazz. And anyways, I got this mahi, I think that's how you pronounce it, or mahi, however you pronounce that. Okay, for cauliflowers, because I plan on making some more of that, where you take a potato and you mix it in there and make cauliflower mash. You can do it with cauliflower, but they have you use a potato and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, but I got some bacon. I bought some sugar-free ketchup. And I also got some heavy whipping cream. The Great Northern beans are for me. The organic pepper was cheaper than the other pepper. I got 4 Toll Houses. Some of these could be Brand Club, and I'm not sure about this. The dumbest thing I hate to say on Brand Club is, and the thing I don't like, I can only get Brand Club items that get counted from this store. They won't be counted from super ones, because you have to sync your account. And Walmart lets you sync your receipts to pull it up on the receipt, and I think that's stupid. So you have to kind of suffer at Walmart. I only buy a couple things from there. I cut the story short, not trying to be complaining. Oh, before I forget, I also got coconut flakes. And I got green bean in a 4-pack. That was actually kind of cheaper than the original ones I get for Rosie. Extra cans back there. And I got 1 mango, because they only had 1 mango. And I never tried these before. They got dried watermelon. Never tried that. We'll give it a try. I'm willing to try something new. Anyways, the almond flour I have opened my next almond flour, so I get my second bag, so I have one back in stock in case I can't go shopping and all that jazz. I got a coconut oil because I opened my new one. Like I said, if I open a new oil or a new something, I always buy like more stuff. Kind of like with the meat, I have 6 pounds or so left. And I will buy 6 more, because that's what my dad taught me way before he died. He taught me all this stuff. And basically, olive oil is another one, because the other bottle I have, I'll show you how bad this one looks. I think a mouse got it. It's like ripped up and stuff. And I decided to get a new one for that. I still got big olive oils, but I decided to get a new oil anyways. I got 3 of these Mott's. My favorite one, of course. I use these. What I do is I take these off the plastic thing, put them in the basement. I take these off down there, because when I walk back and forth, my sugars go down on certain times. And if I feel my sugar getting low and I want to complete my walk and I don't want to screw that up, I try to drink only 1, which is perfectly fine. I got glucose tablets down there too. What you call me, rely on glucose tablets. I got 2 Crunchmaster. If I would have got the avocado ones, that would have been on ibotta based time, but because they were offering less back, I didn't bother. So I got the plain ones to have with my port wine cheese. I got 2 on the border chips, and these are the dipping ones. I think these ones are fine. Everybody complains, all the chemicals and all the food, blah blah blah. And the other, this is the ibotta item that I'm going to show next to the 2. I only got 1 of these because I was limited. I can only spend so much in that stupid store, but yeah, Walmart is evil, blah blah blah. They call it inflation, I call it robbery. That's all I'm calling it. Because people just want to make you waste all your money. Anyways, because like I said, last time I spent $600, I ended up going through $800 because I went back for some foods I needed. And I saved a couple hundreds on ham. And I went through $224. That one doesn't count towards the purchase I made and did my food haul. I didn't bother doing that food haul because it was food I needed. They just rob you. I write down the prices of what this cost, or if it's cheaper at the next store. I got some cheaper stuff. I got cheaper toilet paper from the other store because it was on sale. That's what I do. I write down in the corner of my list like I show. Pretty much, I'll write the prices and stuff, and then I'll just swing my Super One food is the cheap place so far. And even though I spent around $200 like I did last time, but I got the cheaper items there. Anyways, this is an ibotta item too, I believe. Some items, yeah, I've tried to pre-scan before starting, so I think this one is, because it didn't say it couldn't be the packet detergent. I had to buy this, which is a coffee grinder. I use this to make soup mixes, spice mixes. I don't really use it for coffee, because I needed something to grind up. My last item here is a 8-pack of 7-Up, and I went through 2 bottles, because like I said, I was not feeling good, and I only had a throwing up accident, and I got this. So this one's usually my favorite to get. The stash one I kind of had to suffer with. It helped with a little bit, but it didn't help as good as this one did. So I drank 2 little bottles. I'll keep these in case I get infected with gluten or something and stuff like that, you know, in case I get sick or whatever. My table got stained with the little berries I set there. These next ones aren't food items, like the machine I showed. I'm just showing these because I learned at work we got to tie-dye colors. I got 10 colors total. They got the rubber bands. This is supposed to tie-dye like shirts and stuff. It actually works on cotton yarn. I don't know if it works. I got wool yarn that's white, and I want to try test dyeing one of them to see if it works. I'm just going to probably test one and see if it works on wool. But so far it works on cotton, these tie-dye things and stuff like that. Anyways, besides that, I also purchased a hat to test tie-dye because I thought that'd be cool. And of course, it's one of my favorite hats. I love bucket hats. I'm sure this one will fit my head. If it doesn't, then too bad. But otherwise, I can always just have my friend, you know, sell it. I don't mention this to any foods. Those food stamp people are so stupid. I made these sheets pretty much. I can probably show those, so you'll have to wait. I'll get those and show you what I'm talking about. My food stamp people, or I call them DHS, it's called something else, but DHS is their abbreviation. I basically have my dad's assets. They tell you if you sell anything, though, it affects your food stamps or it affects your Social Security or whatever it does. Or I guess it also affects your food stamp base, but they also go after you for the money, which is so stupid. Well, I made these. My friend's going to go with them. They're stuck together right now. I'm going to show the next one. I put how much you earn, and then, because they give you these accounts called ABLE accounts, and you can hold money in there. That'd be good emergency money for me in case something bad happens. And I put down the limit is you can't have over $15,000 in your ABLE account. So yeah, you gotta basically save a certain amount. I don't think this stuff of my dad's is worth that much because it's not. Most of it's junk anyways. And then craft selling, like I was complaining about. I put down what you sold, how much. And again, and basically they don't want you making over 1,000. So this is like an idea to talk some sense into some people that talk sense into those idiots, because they don't let you have any fun money. All I do with my crafts is my friend's selling them. I'm not saying where she's selling them and who she is, because obviously that would put her job at risk. I'm not going to say who it is, but anyways, this is a good idea because then you can have fun money. You should have permission, you know, to treat yourself, have fun money. You could buy fun things. You could buy more yarn, kind of like I showed in the beginning of my video. You know, that's a good idea. This is an idea. So if anyone had this idea, this is the idea. So we're talking to some people that put some sense in those idiots, because you got to have fun money. And all you'd have to do is spend on your fun items and keep the receipts from spending from this money, and that would be a good idea. And then you show DHS you spent all or most of the money for the fun items. Because you have a right to treat yourself. That's not illegal last time I checked. That's not illegal. I feel that was stupid of them to say. I don't tell them that I did kind of sell some items. I'm not saying what I sold, because they will go after me. If you make over 30 bucks, it counts as a credit. That's not earning retirement from you. If you work, like I work through Social Security, and if they don't give you money back because of, you know, you didn't earn anything off this. I mean, how's this earning retirements off Social Security? It's not. It's just fun money. I don't see that as a crime. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyways, I'm going to put my my garden video up next. You might hear me complain about one of my neighbors that lives next door and why I don't like him. I told God I'm sorry. I don't like him. I can only stand so much. All the bullcrap he started doing in 2000. I think it was 2019. He tricked me to ask him, oh, when are you gone? How long are you gone for? And he made a trick there where he said, oh, I want to, I don't know if I'm going to repeat it in the video or not, but I'll just mention it in case I forget. Well, he basically asked me how long I'm gone to work, because he lied and said he wanted me, because I work at a car wash, I do janitorial, that kind of stuff. A place that's supposed to teach you to work and the staff ain't working, but whatever. I don't know. Anyways, I basically try my best to do all that. And I told him, like an idiot, I didn't think he was going to cut all those trees. He was notching and killing my trees. I let him cut one tree down. I didn't know he was notching them, but I don't know if those are his trees or my dad's trees, because this yard has never been surveyed ever. And I know which part is my property based on the police said if he's in my property, I might have to start hanging up like little cameras that are sense detector ones. They'll detect movement. If you move, they detect it. I got one I bought, but I'm going to probably need more anyways, and I'd have to run this app on my phone, but it's going to be stupid. I know that. I hope you're glad you enjoyed the haul. Sorry about a little complaining. You will hear me complain through my garden video, blah, blah, blah. I will show you my little test garden. I did buy some, and before I get off, I will say I bought some of those growing bags. I bought bigger ones. I'm not using them right now. I will use those next year because I am still got my seeds and everything. And so far, putting the seeds in an envelope. Like I took my envelope that I buy, the ones that stick and seal, and I put them in there. I sealed it, and then I cut it in half like a little bag, and I put a paper clip to fold it over. I think that keeps them from molding. And so far, it's working. But yeah. Turns out I took off these app items. I needed this one though, and I ended up wasting money on this. I could have got $2.25 back for that, but this I need for washing, so because it's gluten free and it doesn't make me itch when I wash with my laundry. Cut the story short. So for now on, and it's only 8 o'clock. It hasn't been a full day. Yesterday it said that these items were good for one more day, and they lie to you. And I got home around 6 or so, or 5 o'clock actually, and around 6 I tried scanning the receipts, and they took these 2 app items off. So for now on, and that was yesterday when I learned that was good for one more day. So they should wait a whole dumb day and not wait until it's 6 or so to cancel these app items, because that's stupid. They didn't even wait a whole day. It's not even been a whole day yet. So for now on, I will write down if it says a day ahead of time that it's good for one more day not to buy those items. This one I needed, so I will buy this because I needed more detergent. I decided to go to the packet so I avoid lifting too many heavy things. I don't want to go back to carpal tunnel, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I thought I'd do this before showing you my garden. And yeah, you're going to hear me complain about my neighbor. I am not happy with him, but you'll hear some complaining and you'll see some trees he cut down. And my neighbor next door, his house is over here. I'm not going to show his address. Sometimes he'll go, when he goes to his mailbox, then the sun's glaring and the light and everything. There's a tree up here that's not far from the mailbox. This tree up here, this big one right here, he hides behind that once in a while when I'm going to get my mail, like he's high off a kite, off his pot and all that jazz. He does pot. I don't care what drugs people do, they shouldn't be, staring at people. And he's a weirdo, a complete weirdo. I don't like him for a lot of reasons. I don't really hate him enough to want him dead. I'm not sick like that. I would never do that. Right before they put this fiber cable here, and these are the trees, and there's a gate down there a little bit from my house. Right here, he cut down all these trees. It was so sad when he killed all these trees because they weren't his. It's hard to see a little bit. I can zoom in actually. You can see the trees right in here. There's a car going by. You can see all those trees he cut down. I think he got in trouble. I heard his mom yelled at him. And he basically, sometimes I wish he wasn't my neighbor. Anyways, basically, Tiki, basically, she's down here. I'm not going to show her address or anything, but she's like down here. She's like a ways from him. He actually cut down trees before her yard, and I guess he got in trouble. I had to pay for those trees, but he never got in trouble for these ones, which is just sad. I think he might have gotten in trouble. I don't know if he got charged though, because I know he doesn't have a job. He used to work at Walmart. I remember that. But otherwise, Tiki's over here in this yard. She's my neighbor that helps me and stuff if I need help. Ever since my dad passed away, even when Dad wasn't dead, she helped me too, like stuff, so on and so on. There's a pond. It's really hard to see up there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oh, yeah, okay. Not that big tree right there, but the tree way back there. The one that's, it's hard to zoom in and do that at the same time. It's like the tip of my finger right there, that tree. It's up there, and there's a turtle pond. He sometimes will go up there on his bike, drop his bike and hide it in a ditch, and then he will basically hide in the woods from me. And I don't know why. I mean, he's a weirdo for sure, but one time he was hiding by the bales of hay other side of the road on the old abandoned farms. And there's a farm up there, it's abandoned. He did that once, which is really creepy. I'll zoom out now. Another thing he did that was really creepy, from his house up here, he crosses the road. Sometimes I'm walking, I'll either go that way or I'll go down by the turtle pond. But I'm a ways away when he crosses that road. But if a car comes on the road, he will run in his yard. Like, he doesn't want to be seen watching me. He'll, like, sit there, cross his arms like he's watching the ditch when he's staring at me. And like I said, when the car comes by, he does that. But the minute I turn around from a distance, he sees me walking back, he literally goes back in his yard. If he rides his bike right now, he'll do a circle and go in the yard. And then it's like, I'll show you the rest of it up here, because I'll show you as soon as I get. Okay, this is my mailbox monster. It took me a few months to get this done. I had to take my time because I don't want to hurt. I know if I do it too long, I think my fingers lock up. But I don't have carpal tunnel anymore. I just don't want them to lock up like they did. So I know work had a main thing to do with it. This is like one side of it, and people say it's really cute. It's got 3 eyes, a mustache, and it kind of is big on the bottom. But I'll adjust the new one. I'm gonna make another one, and so I could still lift the flag up. It's right here. So, well, the creepiest thing my neighbor did, and there's a car going by again. The creepiest thing he did was he walked in my yard one night, and I don't know if he was high as a kite off his weed or whatever he was doing, but he was walking all the way and up to my porch, aka my dad's house porch. I'm living in my dad's old house. I've been living here since I was 25, so I'm 37 now. Some people think he's got a crush on me, and I said he better not. That's pretty sick. But anyways, he was standing right here in the corner. That creeped me out like crazy. I didn't even know he was outside. Rosie was barking. He was watching through that window. I don't go outside at night because I'm afraid of the animals. You know, the bears and stuff. You don't run into those. Regardless of that. But yeah, and regardless, I'll talk about my plants while I'm here. I'm not trying to be too negative. This is a stump apple tree. I searched it on Google. So this is one of Willie's trees and Tiki's trees. Tiki told me how to make mulch. A lady in town told me how to make mulch and all that stuff. So it's the 10th today. I didn't get a chance to record yesterday because it was too dark. This is my tomato plant. It had to be moved here instead of the backyard because I think it was dying. It's finally growing flowers, surprisingly, when I moved it. So I'm not sure if a bee pollinated it up there or not. I'm sure they're not that lazy where they can't fly up to the porch. Regardless of that, basically, this is another thing. He cut down all these trees. Ever since Dad died, he actually tricked me to do this. He tricked me that he did it. I didn't. But he tricked me into telling him when I'm gone. And he cut these trees down. He said he wanted to go and have me clean on it with his car wash. He's known me since I was 4 or 5, like I was saying. But if I forgot to say that, I'm saying it again, I guess. But he basically lied and he notched all these trees. I let him cut one down. I think it was right here. He killed it. I found out, and these might not be my trees, my dad's trees or not. This yard was never surveyed. One day it'll be surveyed. I'm not saying what I'm doing with my dad's house because I don't need family attacking me. My brothers said I could have everything, so I'm not going to tell family what I'm doing, or they'll attack me for no reason and rob my house. Grandma tried breaking in the house 2 times. I'll have to explain that story on another video. I'm just cutting it short, saying why I don't want to talk about it. Right here is where he watches me. If I walk out of my house, he watches me right here. Right here, right basically between this tree and right here. He stares at me. I usually pretend I can't see him because I don't want to look at him. Anyways, basically over here at the end of his house, there's a door back here. He stares at me through there. It's really sad. He'll start walking all the way through here. Like he will either walk or ride his bike. And I know my neighbor says, Tiki and Willie said, oh, you should just ignore him. And I'm like, I have a hard time doing that when someone stares at me. He stares at her and a lot of other neighbors. He's really a weirdo. He starts from here, and there's that gate. I didn't want to show the number because that's not my business. But he starts here. He goes past my mailbox. He goes all the way to that orange right there. I'll zoom in a little bit. Fiber optic cable, pretty much. He actually was seen in the yard. Last time I saw him, and I think in here, last year I had to talk to the police to keep, and the police sheriff went in his yard telling him to stay off my property. The problem is I don't trust him. My neighbor Tiki says, you might be getting paranoid. I don't care if I sound paranoid. I don't trust him. He hasn't hurt me or doing anything like that, thank God. And like I said, he better not have a crush on me. That would piss me off, no offense, because he's 62 and I'm 37. I don't care if I'm at the age limit. I don't have nothing to do with drug addicts. I don't care. I call him a drug addict because he does weed. I mean, people say it makes you smarter, but it makes him act weird, so I think that makes you stupid. That's my opinion. I hate that they legalized it in Michigan, but otherwise, yeah. He's, like, the old man was right here and the trees were still up. He said he was cutting the trees so they don't hit my house. That was bullcrap. And then he was telling me, it was like, I think it was 2021 when I yelled at him. It was fall or somewhere around there, like past when my mother visited and took papers out of the house. I'll explain that in another video. when I'm done with all the stuff I have to do. Anyways, she was trying to rob me, but cut the story short. But anyways, what happened was he was standing smiling at me. He was high as a kite. Like when he crosses the road, like I said, he was actually watching me the day before. He says, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time." I said, "Yeah, you did. You crossed the road and stared at me. You don't think I saw you?" And this old guy came from back here that he were cutting all these trees down. This part might actually be my dad's property, all the trees back here. I know the spur tree right there, that's what it's called, I guess that's how you pronounce it. All these trees ended up, these trees weren't here, there were different trees that were back there. He walked through the woods and cut them down. So what I've been doing is I have been throwing my food scraps between my yard and his yard. He noticed I've been doing that. So he can meet a, I'm sorry, but he can meet a bear before that. I'm sorry to be negative about him. Alright, my garden up here. Before I forget about my garden. My garden is, the acorn squashes are surprisingly starting to grow. You can see those green thing, it looks like a pickle kinda. This was actually growing and it died. It was a blackberry plant. I don't know if it got overwatered or it died or whatever happened to it. I got some carrots right here. I got 2 strawberry plants. There's one there and one back over there. This is a jelly bean tomato plant. There's one there and there's one like growing there. There's lettuce. I think this, it looks like a dandelion, but I don't think it is. I think it's something else because I can't remember what I threw in there. It's probably not going to grow all the way. Some of them might because I kind of played around with the seeds, but didn't grow. I threw seeds in again. We'll see if they make it. I think this is a bell pepper plant right here. This is my potato plant. I'm not picking the potato plants, so I know my neighbor Tiki told me leave them in the, I know it says 8 to 10 weeks. She said the longer you leave them in there, the bigger potatoes you get. So, and she told me to plant them with the roots up because when I planted them with the roots down, I got small potatoes. That was an accident. So I actually do have either 2 brown in one, or I have a red in each one and a brown in each one. Because she gave me 2 of sprouted potatoes she had, and I put them up. And I remember this guy on the internet said, you want to put 2 in there because you get more potatoes or something like that. Once September starts, before I do my next food haul, I will definitely pick them out of the buckets, and I will probably set them by the buckets, and I'll film that. This one I thought was a cucumber plant. It turns out I went to the store today to see a difference between a cucumber end and a cucumber end and a like the end, the end piece, like the root part where you snap it off, and a cucumber. The cucumber one's so small, and it turns out it was bigger, so it was actually a zucchini. And there's some still growing, kind of. They're looking yellowish right there. There's a watermelon plant that's growing. Hopefully the watermelon makes it. And my other potato plant. And this one, I don't know. I know one of these is cilantro. I think it might be this one or that one. I can't tell. Because I threw the seeds in and I didn't label anything. I did label one of them. One of them is, oh wait. Let me see. I think that one's the cilantro, that one or that one. It's one of those 2. It's one of those 2 green ones. It's got to be this one. I think it's either this one or that one. But anyways, besides that, I got my other strawberry plant. Right here we got some cantaloupe growing. It's dark green. It's a dark green thing right there. There's 2 bulbs growing in here too. I call them bulbs because that's what I call them. My bell pepper plant over here is doing really good. And there I got small bell peppers because I planted them in a smaller thing. I think that's why I brought bigger ones, and I probably could have planted them in those, but I decided I'm going to do that next year. I'm just practice planting. I'm not going to switch everything up because I don't know if they're going to even produce more. But this one's here, and there's another one growing. There was one over here. I picked it. I'll show that after I'm done with my little garden / tree story video. This one I think might be sweet bell pepper or something, or sweet pepper of some sort, because it's green. It's like really, it's kind of growing like a bell pepper, unless it is a bell pepper. I can't tell what all these plants are. Besides this one over here, I can't even tell if this is a squash. I think it might be, because it's got yellow leaves like that, or yellow flowers like that one had in this one. There's one growing right here. Kind of looks like a worm. Okay, my tree, I put that there so I don't forget to water them before I go in the house. And I'll show my apple tree. My apple tree is a little ways walk over here. It's a family apple tree. We used to plant it as kids, even though my parents were divorced and blah, blah, blah. My dad's house actually has one part of siding only on one side of the house. That's the side with the back door right here. Right here, it's like really bad. He tried to get that light to work and it wouldn't work, but yeah. The saddest thing I ever seen, like, look, I think it was a year ago or two, there was that's a metal pole thing you could put something on, I guess. It basically, there's a baby bird nest up there, and the saddest thing is those baby birds fell on my little porch right there, and I ended up stepping on one and accidentally killing it when I stepped out the door. I didn't know they fell. It was really sad, though. It was horrible. I didn't mean to kill it. I don't know if it already died or I killed it. I couldn't tell. It was really sad. This is a tree that my friend's he was supposed to come over and cut. He says he's gonna do it another day. But this one, it's leaning over like a claw. The sad thing is it grew up sideways. There's a couple of trees. This one's another tree that's dying. These ones are good apple trees. I think you can make apple pies with these. And anyways, basically, it grew up sideways because of because of the crooked lighting in the trees. They grew up funny. I seen a tree that was shaped like an N in one of my mother's pictures a while back. But it's still alive so far. So my friend's gonna see if he could try to get it grown. Anyways, but basically, I'm gonna try and get this wood pile in before I forget. That's the old dad's last old wood. Gotta get that in. So in case I have to start a fire, because if the power ever went out, you have to depend on fire, because you know, if electricity does go out, you gotta depend on something burnable. So there's 2 piles there. I'm gonna try and stack them or something. I have to buy some wood gloves. Anyways, between this old pine tree, if I could speak English, between these pine tree and the spruce tree, I'm not sure if they're gonna die. There used to be 4 of these. There used to be one there, one right around the corner of my garden right there. There's one there. My dad put this topper here to put like the lawnmower under and stuff, but it's falling down because I took the bricks out of it. Next time I'll do a bigger garden. I'll have to get another fence thing here like this. I'm thinking of getting metal poles because these are splinter based ones. Anyways, I plan on making those. I'm gonna see if I can grow some apples in the house and all that. I'm gonna mix mulch, but I'm gonna try. I know the mulch has got to be on top to keep it moisturized. I'm gonna try and grow 4 buckets. I'm gonna probably take some of these big buckets. I'm thinking of taking that one, and maybe that one that's growing right there. And I'm gonna put like fertilizer way before winter starts. Hopefully they sprout a little bit. Some people say you can't grow an apple tree in the house. I had one growing, but I don't know if I overwatered it or I didn't water it enough. All I know is it looked like it drowned and died to me. But I'm gonna put these trees over here. And I swear, I'm going to have cameras. And I know he hasn't been in my yard because my neighbor Jimmer told me he saw him. He was the one that warned me that he was notching and killing my trees. He notched this one so bad. And if it hits the corner of my dad's house, he better pay for it, because I'm not going to put up that bull crap. Even though I have to have proof that he's cutting trees on my property, I don't trust him. If he comes through these woods, I'm throwing food there to keep animals, skunks over there. He could still come through the yard if he wanted to. He can probably go over through back there. I'm not trying to be paranoid. I'm going to put a fence around my trees. I'm going to put a sign saying, don't you dare cut these trees. These are my apple trees. Because I want to try to grow the one that Tiki has. There's those trees. The one in the green one is called a stump tree. I looked it up because the apple actually had color to it. And I found out that was the same tree I had back in Rockland when I lived in Rockland, Michigan. But in Ontonagon, Michigan here, there's the same tree. And my neighbor said I could pick as many apples as I want. Willie said I could take as many as I want. Tiki said I could take as many as I want. They're very nice neighbors. She said if I wanted any blueberries from her garden today, I could pick them. I took some raspberries out of her thing, even though I bought raspberries from the store too. I planted some of them in that plant, like I said, to try and grow them. We'll see how this all pans out. But the lady was talking to me tells me if you use mulch, it's supposed to speed up the process. The compost makes it grow fast, so makes plants grow fast. I'm thinking of combining compost, some maybe Miracle-Gro. My friend was telling me maybe some Miracle-Gro if I'm pronouncing it right. I've been saying it a couple times. And then I'm gonna put the compost on top. I don't think he's gonna do anything to the buckets, but the buckets will be back here in this side area before winter starts and all that crap. And they will be outside regardless, but hopefully they don't take 10 years. But the lady said it could take 5 years with the mulch, because I guess the mulch keeps the ground wet, so it takes care of it. My Tiki Toast told me that when I was talking to her today. But anyways, that's my whole plan. I'm not trying to hurt my neighbor or anything. I mean, I remember when he asked me that creepy question one time when I used to talk to him a few years ago. I think it was 2019 or 18 or whatever, but in the middle of that, even though I did talk to him when he did that creepy thing. I didn't know he was outside. My neighbor told me that he was outside by my mailbox. That creeped me out. But I didn't go outside, thank God. Anyways, he asked me one time, what would you do if I forgot to say it? He said, what would you do if a guy ever walked up and grabbed you? And I said, I'd kick him in the balls. And I said, and I'm not trying to be a violent person or a killer or anything. I'm just saying my defense moves here. Is I'd either kick him in the balls, or I said, if I have to defend myself, I got my dad's hunting knife. I think that's probably why he runs from me. Not just the fact that he knows I don't like him. I don't hate him. I mean, I'm not sick. I don't hate him. I want him dead or anything. But God's sakes, he needs to stop cutting people's trees down like he did with that house. That yard down there. There's no house on that property. But that property wasn't his. I don't know if he actually had to pay for those trees. I can't even charge him for what he cut back here if it belonged to my dad, because I can't prove he cut them unless he gets in my yard and starts cutting any more of these trees and notching them. I'm thinking of putting cameras on them, like motion activated ones maybe. But yeah, like I said, I don't hate him. I just don't like being watched. It creeps me out. I know people probably say, oh, put your curtain down. Yeah, I'd like to have light in my house too, so yeah. I don't know if he's watching me right now. I think his door's closed. One time I was dumping food across down here, and he was watching me. He had one of those bug screen doors where it's all black, and I saw him just staring at me. He better not have a crush on me, because I don't want anything to do with that. I've known him since I was 4 or 5, and I'm leaving it at that. I want nothing to do with him. I don't care what drugs people do, but if people ever, and I read the study online, I'm just going to end with this weird study. They said online that marijuana, aka pot, makes you smarter. Well, I'll tell you what, I think it makes you retarded, because he acts like really panicky and everything. He acts more paranoid than I do. I have my fears of the dark and the woods and the animals is mostly what I'm afraid of, but, you know, I do think it makes you retarded. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what I believe. Because people shouldn't be smoking that drug. If anyone ever gets in a car accident, I wouldn't be surprised. They should never legalize it in Michigan. I don't like drugs that make people, you know, because it gives you like a weird visions and stuff. That's what some people told me, the description of it. My mom offered it to me when I was 22 or 20 something, when I was living with her. I didn't want to take the drug. It smells like diarrhea. I just cut the story short. But yeah, I don't think drugs that, especially a lot of people do dope drugs that kill them, like morphine and stuff like that. I know I would never do any drugs like that. I would never do a drug at all, technically, because I'm a diabetic and I could die from that. If someone told me right now, you have to do marijuana to get rid of the pain, I'm going to say pump up the morphine. I'd rather take whatever risks with the morphine, because that stuff is not, I do not want something that gets me high. Worst thing is if I ever got high off pot or smoked it, and I don't smoke. But if I ever did that, I think I would fall down my stairs and die. People would have to find out I was dead. I think my dog would die of that process. Not trying to be negative, but that's my theory on it. I'm not a scientist, but that's my belief. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my food haul the day before, even though I'm doing my day after video with a garden and stuff and explaining things. But yeah, I hope you all have a good day. Okay, I have a little zucchini, which I thought was a cucumber. I had to actually take a picture to remember that this is a zucchini, because they look the same kind of, except for the ends are different right here. And my small orange bell pepper. I'd have to put that in an omelet. And today when I was in town, I thought this was funny. I found 4 cards in the ditch. It was kind of funny. It was like, what the heck is it? This doesn't look like a winning hand. I'm not very good at cards, but I don't think that's a winning hand. But yeah. But yeah, there we go. Put that in the video.